It's crazy. It's kind of crazy how death can suddenly put everything in perspective. Makes you realize everything. Makes you think about everything that you've sacrificed in time and relationships, all for quote unquote funny books. And it's not like one of those trying to get super rich, right? Because that's stupid. It's more like the potential of capturing the entire world as your audience, right? Because, alright, the guy with the hit song, right now somebody makes a hit song, right? The guy with the hit song, of course Bill Gates has more money than him. Gates is way more richer than him, right? But I would say, at that moment in time, the guy with the hit song, who cares about the money? He's captured the hearts of the people. He's I don't know, he's like the current thing, you know? He's what is cool and happening right now. And I think that's stronger than any money. For the world to fall in love with your quote unquote funny books, for franchises, everything else that comes with that simple capture of an audience, that simple hooking them in, that's what it's about. All that life-changing stuff that brings for you and everybody around you. But it's funny that a death puts all that in perspective. Everything that I've deemed less important than this funny book business, all the things that get put on the back burner, all the things. All those things that you set aside, and all the things you deem less important than your goal. Is there any way to quantify that? Because it can end up not being worth it. There's the risk. There's the risk you take. So death always makes you refocus. Swear to God, after this funny book is done, I gotta tend to all things. So the thing about life is, you get older, your kids get older, and as you're getting older and your kids getting older, your parents are getting older, and your grandparents are getting older. Everything is getting older. Nothing is forever, nothing's gonna wait while you're sitting there trying to accomplish your dreams. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy, a little bit sad when it takes a death to make you realize things. So I'm definitely gonna make time after this funny book's out of the way to go 10 things I haven't intended to. But it's all because of the potential, right? The potential to capture the hearts of the world. To have the world as your audience. And everything that comes with that. Be life-changing. You know, my grandpa, like, back when I was trying to do the music thing and stuff. It's like, one of the questions, like, you know, sometimes people have to snap you back into reality. One of his questions was always like, well, are you even making any money from it? Right? And, but then also after he said that, like a day later or something, I don't know, he's like, he showed me this, like, guy that had made the news, for making some kind of like new genre of like techno music or something, and like the news reporters and everything, they all went to interview this kid, and it's like, look, it was all done from inside his little dingy bedroom. He didn't have the money or the $1 million studios and all the equipment. He just did this shit from his room and a laptop, right? And that was like his way of telling me, like, yeah, like anything's fucking possible. Like I don't know if many people know this, but like, I don't know, I was published. Oh, my first time being published, I was in the I was in the 3rd grade. I just remember coming in and like I was like all these teachers and stuff standing in the hallway, like clapping and cheering. It's like I wrote some fucking short story in 3rd grade as like some writing prompt way to do about, like, we were like learning about like outer space and the moon and how far it like orbits and all that shit. I wrote some stupid fucking story, and I guess it like won an award and it got published. And the lady from the magazine or whatever the book it was going in, I don't know, it's been so fucking long, she was like, well, it takes more than 10 hours to get to the moon, but you know, you still got time to learn all that. She's like, but the joke about the alien sucking on your little brother's thumb when you guys woke up, it's like, and then they were like questioning me, like, wait, have you ever taken writing classes before? Like, are your parents writers? And I was like, no. Like, well, you got the climax, the resolution, the climax. Like, I fucking nailed this shit as a 3rd grader, and it was cool. I got published and stuff. Copies got sent out to my family and shit. But like that was in third grade, and they're like, "How do you know how to do all that?" I was just like, "That's just a story from my head." Like, I don't know. So that all happened in third grade. I don't know if that's like some fucking, I don't know, what's that, Inception, or I got blasted into my brain or whatever. But like, fuck, dude, I should have been like fucking Jim Shooter in the 90s. It's like such a, I don't know, looking back now, I'm like, what the fuck happened, right? But like one lady didn't like give up on me like after that. I was like published in third grade, like tons of spelling and punctuation errors, like and I said we traveled to the moon in 10 hours, stupid shit. But the guidance counselor lady, like, she kind of didn't give up on me, like, and she kind of like stepped into like some weird role to like where she like, I don't know, she like saw something in me or whatever. So then she signed me up for like some fucking like poetry contest, right? And I fucking won in our school, and then I won for all the schools. and then we had to go to fucking Albany, and it was me and only 3 other finalists. It was like for some like poetry contest. Like you had to like fill up the whole time. Like you'd get penalized if your poem wasn't as long as like the 5-minute time limit, let's say, or whatever. Dude, and the winner at Albany was gonna fucking win a chance to be in a fucking, I don't know, I think it was an Old Navy. I think it was an Old Navy commercial, or it might have been Gap or something stupid like that. But yeah, turns out I didn't win. I fucking got all the way to the end, and then it was just some girl there, some third grade girl. She was like, had all that spunk, all that spontaneity, like attitude, that like that bratty shit that I didn't possess. So she ended up getting it over me. But dude, I was fucking killing it. Like you're just up there like performing poems, right? And, like doing gestures, knowing when to stop, knowing when to draw the crowd in. And so like, yeah, I don't know. And then like after that, I look back and I've been hiring artists my whole life. What the fuck? That's another thing that I realized the other day too. Like in 4th and 5th grade, I was like fine. Like I was still like, me and my friends were drawing every day, but then you would like be that one kid in school that was like, whoa, you're drawing this shit? And dude, from like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and like 8th, like I think once I got to 9th, that shit was done. Like I was like, oh, well, I was never into comic books. What are you guys talking about? But bro, that many years, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Bro, that's 5 years of my childhood. I was hiring the other artists to fucking create my creations. I don't know why. I just thought about that the other day. I was like, wait, so I started so early. I think I was supposed to be like, it's like, I don't know, the illegitimate son of Jim Shooter or something. But yeah, and so we're here today, right? And damn, I put this shit ahead of a lot of shit on the back burner, and crumbling all around me for quote unquote funny books, but not funny books, and not like for clout. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just because it has the potential to be world changing and life changing. Like it rarely happens, right? But franchises do happen, man. So that's the potential behind this shit. It's not fucking women, it's not money. And like, I mean, and that's like unachievable, right? That's only like the 10% of you believes that faith, that amount of faith. It's like 10% of you that something like that could even happen. So the other thing is capturing an audience then, because yeah, It's like your boy Zach says, you can get 1,000 people to buy from you, like, loyally once or twice a year, like, then you could officially make a living doing what you like. I need fucking SLED HEADZ the fucking work, man. You could keep me afloat and let me get to the next book, and then keep going that way. But I don't know. We're gonna see if it was all worth it. But crazy time. So with that being said, like, not only one of my favorite kind of personality types to write for characters, character archetype, but I myself am like a type 3 personality. And so Local Script Man, the guy that's going to be translating my comic book into a screenplay, he finally put out his Enneagram video on type 3. And so it's basically like holding up a mirror to me. And we're going to go ahead and watch that. Then I got to get out of here. It's been a crazy day. I got less than an hour, so let's see. Oh, this video is only 14 minutes. We're golden.
Now's the time to go back in time.
Alright, guys, let's see. Working. Maybe I gotta share it again. Hold on, guys. Let me try to share my screen again.
Don't be a crybaby. 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 Don't. Happy birthday. 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 Happy birthday.
Comes from the Heart Center. 2, 3,
Happy
and 4.
birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Alright, so this is fucking great video from Local Script Man. And oh yeah. Tank Ferret is in the chat. What up, Tank? Oh, we had Tree Goblin in here. What up, Tree Goblin? Fuck, I forgot to click the comments tab. My bad. POE streaming with Kiss. KSSS. Happy birthday, yeah. I'm just like holding up a mirror to myself and good self reflection. And also help you guys understand I guess like, why the reason why to chase this kind of dragon, to try to capture the world as an audience, to try to have huge successful franchises that'll last the test of time, like things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just there's so much. I don't know. There's so much to do. So much to do. Such little time. All right. Self-reflection. Holding up a mirror. Let's go. Smoke and iced coffee.
Today we gather to discuss the Enneagram 3. The Enneagram 3 fixation comes from the Heart Center, 2, 3, and 4. Heart types have at their core a gaping hole where self-esteem is supposed to be. 2s try to fill the hole by fostering relationships. 4s decorate the hole and pretend like it's supposed to be there. And 3s try to fill the hole by succeeding at whatever it is they do. 3s feel like they have to earn the right to love themselves.
I gotta prove it. Prove what? I'm not a mistake.
So the classic 3 character is the person with a career goal. Tiana, Whiplash Guy, Rodney Copperbottom, pick your poison. There are quite a few of them. Since they actively go after a thing, 3s are an easy candidate for protagonism. This character has attached their self-esteem to their hustle. They have to succeed. They have to be number 1 or they're worthless. The stakes are emotional. And the emotional stakes of whether or not the 3 succeeds are enough to carry the narrative. But if you really want to tell a story about 3ness itself, you have to realize that no matter how high 3s climb, they'll never be satisfied. Their success will never be enough. The goalpost is constantly moving. 3s are essentially trying to please the void. Whether it's a cheering crowd, a bank account balance, a person whose admiration they crave, 3s turn to something outside of themselves to dictate their self-worth. That's their whole problem.
I'm the best one.
So, true growth for 3 is when they can finally be satisfied internally, when they can look out at the void and say, I've done enough for you, I'm going to rest now. Usually to get to this point, the 3 needs to fail in some way, but getting everything they ever wanted can also be a form of failure, like the idea of selling your soul for success is very 3. A Star is Born needed a style pass, respectfully. I know it's a remake, but the title is Freeze-Dried Potato Salad, and her pop star name is Allie. Just Allie, come on. Shallow is good, though, but I digress. This movie is about a 3 artist who wants to make it to the big leagues, and she does, rather rapidly. But Allie's failure is in letting the industry take away her authenticity. We meet her as a soulful songwriter, but they turn her into a bedazzled puppet singing about nothing, and only then does she realize she needed her authentic self, which comes out in her relationship with her husband. He's kind of the growth point for her.
Your nose is beautiful. Are you showing me your nose right now? You don't have to show it to me. I've been looking at it all night.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I'm going to be thinking about your nose for very long.
You're full of
Allie also exemplifies something that most people miss about 3s, which is that they're not just chasing success at any cost. They have to succeed in a way that makes them feel personally worthy. Like, sure, you can have a 3 who's more childish and just likes to turn their brain off and bask in applause, but 3s ultimately want to be the real thing. 3s don't want a participation trophy. They don't want an easy victory. They want to feel like they've earned it. They don't want to be liars. They don't want to be frauds. And that fear sort of eats them up inside. So another common 3 journey is stop acting like the thing and be the thing. Rango is a 3 story that I quite enjoy. The main character starts as a fraud who enjoys being praised, but then he gets called out and leaves with his tail between his legs.
I don't even know who I am.
Rango has to go on a spiritual journey to discover his authenticity, and only then can he come back and be the badass he always pretended to be. For all the incoming Rango is a 4 because identity comments, remember that the type 4 conceptualizes significance as negative. It's sad and mopey and self-degrading, but type 3 significance is always positive. You will never find a 3 who revels in being hated. That's a 4 thing. 3s want you to think that they're cool and awesome. The Rango thing also happens in the third Creed movie. Creed is a 3 trilogy if I ever saw one, but the first 2 movies, as great as they are, really just show Adonis Creed wanting validation and getting it. A lot of the impetus for growth is placed on the supporting characters in Creed 1 and 2. It's not until the third movie that Adonis's fakeness is fully called out and he goes on a proper ego death journey, finally becoming the real thing like Rango. Threes have to find their true power and authenticity within. Outside of your presentation, your reputation, your accolades, your legacy, who are you?
I think I might be nobody.
A 3 tragedy, by contrast, is where they never find that authenticity. It's the Not Like Us story, where the world turns on the con artist, a la Stringer Bell. The most common 3 stereotype, though, is the rich finance bro or the extravagant socialite, Jay Gatsby type. This caricature is so hated that people often find it hard to grasp what's actually going on with 3s. They would rather write this type of person off as being entitled or having a superiority complex. But we have to remember that there really is no such thing as a superiority complex. There is only an inferiority complex that one compensates for. At the beginning of their story, long before they started collecting trophies, the 3 started from a place of shame and embarrassment. It could be the kid who was bullied in school and then vowed to stun on the haters by any means necessary. The classic 3 power fantasy is like, yeah, you're right, Chris, we should catch up sometime. Unfortunately, though, you didn't invite me to after prom, so put the fries in the bag, and then they drive away in their Ferrari. Literally Greg Heffley. If you relate to Greg Heffley, you are a 3, I'm sorry.
New card. What do you think?
The ancient Egyptians understood that they could use sound to reduce their weight and the gravitational effect.
Oh.
Just remember, it's all comparative with 3s. It's not that they want to be attractive, it's that they want to be more attractive than others. It's not that they want to be rich, it's that they want to be richer than others. With this in mind, you could write a 3 who started from nothing, but you could also write a 3 who was born a rich noble, only he's been overshadowed by his siblings his entire life. As long as they feel beneath others in some way, you're good. And of course, backstory is not necessary, so you can also just have a 3 like Azula, who has always been pursuing greatness, and that's just her MO. I've talked about how 3s need to start from a place of shame and being beneath others, but if you really want to focus on the 3's backstory, I think another key ingredient is stability. Heart types 2, 3, and 4 generally don't grow up in war zones, because if you're fearing for your life every day, you don't have time to worry about self-esteem or identity or your legacy. So the sweet spot to grow a type 3 is you give them enough stability so that they have the mental space to worry about success, but you still start them out with some noticeable disadvantage. You shoot them in the leg right at the starting line.
Every single person that I've come in contact with in the music industry has told me that my nose is too big and that I won't make it.
How does a bastard, orphan, son of a...
You give them a chip on their shoulder, and the inadequacy they feel becomes the driving force in their lives. This lower middle class dynamic is done really well in House of the Dragon with Sir Criston Cole. Cole was a steward's son who was knighted after proving himself in battle. But knights in the Game of Thrones world are often rich kids from great houses who were given knighthood not for their accomplishments, but for their nepo baby status. Cole had to fight his ass off to get this honor, but once he gets there, he's mocked by the other knights. He's not like them.
A man from such modest beginnings. What a giddying ascent the gods have bestowed on you.
Cole's insecurities propel him through his career as he gets promotion after promotion, fueled by teary-eyed rage towards the people who rejected him. They'll see. I'll show them. That's what it means to be a 3. Marjorie Tyrell is definitely a 3. Littlefinger might be a 3 too, although if you don't know the character's motivation, it's kind of a Schrodinger's Enneagram type situation. But remember, 3s are heart types, which means they slide very naturally into the lover role. It's easy to see why 2s and 4s are romantics, but with 3s, especially 3 men, it's often hidden deep down. Like, if you have to be that masculine ideal all the time, the golden retriever within is going to stand in awkward contrast to the image you've created, so you kind of just have to muzzle it. But it's there, and 3s fall very naturally into romantic subplots. Heart types go all in with the relationships. Head types and gut types, it's not as explicit. But when you see a character who is in love, fantasizing, hugging their pillow at night type shit, that's usually a heartoid. With another type, maybe a 5 or an 8, the love subplot will be the antithesis of their goal. It will be the thing they've overlooked or the answer. But with the 3, the career goal and the getting the girl / getting the guy relationship goal often run parallel. because those two things are the same. They feed back into the self-esteem machine. High School Musical literally has this revelation in all three movies. Like, oh no, which one is Troy gonna go with? His basketball career or the girl? Both. It's always both, because the real answer for threes is authenticity, being themselves and being happy instead of chasing society's definition of success. It's important to remember that with any type, a fixation doesn't have to apply to all areas of life. It's not true to say all threes care about their physical appearance. You could have a three who doesn't care about what they look like because all of their three energy is getting poured into, let's say, their boxing career. But when they go to the grocery store, they just dress kinda bummy because that's not where their hustle is. This selective application of the Enneagram complex is why we have further levels of description, like wings and instinctual variants. It's the Enneagram's way of saying, okay, we know this person has a three complex, but specifically where in their life is their threeness being channeled? Is it a career, their social life, a love interest? I see the core number as the why and the other stuff as an attempt to describe the what, which is why I try not to lump them into one label, but that's what it is. Now, just a sidebar here, I've been using examples of three hustles like money, sports, attractiveness, but threes can just as easily put all of their energy towards world peace. They can apply their threeness to moral causes, and then they'll be like, I'm an 8, but then you compliment them and they giggle and you're like, nah. The 3 is still doing a good thing, it's just the why might be partially intertwined with self-worth issues. We follow such a 3 in HBO's Tokyo Vice, which I will once again be How It's Made, Krispy Kreme donuts glazing. Jake Adelstein, the protagonist, is a textbook 3. He moves to Japan to be a crime reporter, starts at the bottom of the food chain, falls desperately in love with a Yakuza boss's mistress, and makes a ton of mistakes in his quest to get the biggest stories. 90s Tokyo is a minefield of corruption and murder, and so it's surprising when some of the darkest moments in the show have nothing to do with crime. Jake has a family back home in America, and the show emphasizes how Jake's abandonment of them causes immense pain. 3s slot naturally into stories about obsession. A lot of the time you just want to scream at them, let it go, relax, be a human, pay attention to your kid, because on the lower end of health, 3s can be absolutely robotic. They will steamroll friends and enemies alike, not out of hatred or a need for control, but just because it's good business.
I seem to be inept at everything except my work. I'm good at my work, so I confine myself to that.
I talked about network in the 4 video, but Faye Dunaway's character Diana is a Type 3 tragedy. She ruthlessly climbs the hierarchy of the television industry, losing more and more of herself to what her boyfriend Max describes as shrieking nothingness. And when Max finally leaves Diana, she loses her last shred of authenticity. In her final moment on screen, she is shown in a wide shot, a ghost of a woman, her expressions unknown to us, as she orchestrates the actual straight-up murder of a news personality. All because of his lousy ratings. That's a 3 completely off the deep end. When 3s get this bad, it is almost impossible to imagine that they're doing it out of some twisted need for love, but they are. Their pursuit of line go up, however brutal, however soulless it may seem, ultimately comes from the inner child. And if you give a Cole or a Diana or even a Patrick Bateman a hug and you tell them they're enough and that they don't have to prove anything to you, they will fold. Trust me. Every villain is a tragic villain. Speaking of 3 antagonists, and continuing the trend of this video being a bit of a sausage fest, Dementis from Furiosa and Proximus Caesar from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes are both 3s. Both characters are obsessed with greatness in their respective worlds. Both put on shows for their followers, but both of them are positioned against gut-type leaders in their respective movies. Dementis looks like a phony when he goes to war against Immortan Joe, who doesn't care about validation and thinks more practically. Proximus tries to imitate the OG Caesar, but lacks the egoless, grounded strength of his forebear. The reality is, when 3s take leadership roles, they often do it for themselves. Because if I am the great leader and everybody loves me, then I will finally be worthy and earn my right to exist. Redemption for such 3s often looks like stepping down from such roles, and just being a part of a community, which is why it's said they move to 6 in growth. In terms of personality, there's never a one-size-fits-all description for each type. Any surface-level trait could have its origins in a number of type fixations. You just never know. But in general, a lot of 3s are polished, charismatic, good at negotiating, good at justifying their own actions, socially intelligent, and excellent at spinning negatives into positives. Unless they really have their shit together, though, there will always be a sense of fakeness when they try to be something that they aren't. They can make a career of covering it up, but deep down, the 3 has the fluttery heart of a performer. And until they really confront that self-esteem wound, they won't be able to achieve the groundedness and authenticity that they often imitate. Richard Rohr says the three might just have the hardest route to redemption of any type, in part because when they do the right thing and get praised, it's like, wait, did I do that because it was right or because I wanted praise? They can get tangled up in this back and forth of trying to get you to like them. So the ultimate three growth moment, which I haven't seen in any media, would basically look like the three permanently ruining their reputation for the greater good and never telling anyone the truth.
Jesus.
Never trying to spin it into a positive, just taking it to the grave. That would be a fully redeemed three. So yeah, three stories. Ambition, image, success, legacy, obsession, authenticity, self-esteem. That's the Type 3 video. Hope that helps. Goodbye!
We'll be back after these messages. Yeah. Yeah, you see that right there? That's some Yeti scat.
Money on Twitter?
Yeah.
So who are your Sims? Who are these Sims?
No. That's my ad revenue.
You're living off of begging for money on Twitter?
Yeah.
So who are your Sims? Who are these Sims?
No. That's my ad revenue. I'm monetized on Twitter.
How many followers do you have?
2,200.
How am I not monetized? What the am I?
Have you tried applying for it? You just need 5 million impressions, 500 followers. I had 34 million impressions at one point, so they kind of like...
Why? How?
That just reply to big accounts. And so with the check mark, it boosts you up, so people like, you know...
You played the system. 43,000.